tracks are as they have ever been. A bit more worn, perhaps. Fortunately, the streets...
That's plausible. A similar reckless abandon.
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind?
Just be straight with him.
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor.
A rhymesmith. This is quite credible. It goes with its cadence and way of speaking. Your best verse? You... No, stop. He's already mortified.
In the name of God, what are you doing? Yes, and I also thank you for stopping. We have a drug investigation to return to. How about we do that?
Ease into it. Don't go too far. This seems like a... That all the beans you got, Tommy? Damn, it really is hard to talk, man to man.
Looking for something, Hunt? Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't... You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves.
There's your in. Take his side in this particular fight. He eyes you wearily, unsure. Damn, it didn't work.
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer. Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved his country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags, when some kip boys, since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
If they were getting drunk inside the Whirling in Rags, how could they know who broke into the lorry?
What? Aren't we allowed to say that he's a kips who do all the stealing around here? That's not road science, man. Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if you... He's a Samaran guy who likes to pretend he's some kind of businessman. Or really, he's just selling his employer stuff. Stuff he stole. Just follow the smell. It smells like apricot and oil.
Yes, yes.
Looks like I offended your partner there. Too bad. Sea Lang's usually a little bit south of here, near the canal. You can't make... His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, all right? 100%.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Sea Lang himself...
Guess so.
I've got nothing to say to you. I am not.
You could be, Liz. You could be anything.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went...
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International. The cold look in her eyes speaks louder than words. It's not her. She's not a hardy girl. Definitely.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy.
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You gonna go and tell on us?
Yeah, I heard him. Now, fuck you. Let me state this very clearly, capo. Hello.
Explosive laughter follows. To his men, Titus Hardy is a golden god. But having Everard back you up like that did seem to have some effect. As you look around this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, does this look familiar? You believe the place was called Precinct 41. It was also filled with almost... You seen Apricot, old Purdue's daughter? Asks Lieutenant McCoy. Replies Torson. The ass on that one. McCoy shakes his head in appreciation. A bit strange the old man named her Apricot, but, I mean...
Huh? You got a problem with beer now?
Not quite there yet. Push on.
You saying we don't help people? I've been doing this.
Congratulations on the graffiti removal. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's...
So what? What do you want?
Don't let him drink that. One more Just don't antagonize him. You have this already.
Titus?
She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him. He's going to give it up, but on his terms.
You wanna help her, cop. If you don't, if you question her, harass her.
What is her name?
Claudia, I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags, a real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit, blonde.
Shit. The girl. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. Remember what you said to her? You told her you want to have...
Yeah. Blonde. Tall. 2 rooms over from yours.
You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, with your eyes bulging like some wild...
I don't understand what's so cool here.
Nothing. We just have a few more questions. Then we'll be on our way.
It sounds like you're having a heart attack. Whatever you said, it couldn't have been that bad. Please relax. Whatever you do, do not tell him you know her. Calm. Normal. Try to forget this little hiccup.
Remember what I said. Freight train of pain.
Officer, what was that? Yes. Yes. The victim? Is there something I should...
Whatever you do, don't say the first thing.
Understood. What else did you do? Okay, that's manageable. Understood. You were not in good shape on Monday. We'll be alright, officer.
You feel fortified by his assurance. It's going to be all. Is it though? Nothing? You're still in... The door is...
This is the police.
Sounds like it's coming from upstairs somewhere. You could snoop around before going up. This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, pharmaceuticals line the shelves. Sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid.
Anything of note?
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Nacra, this is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around. This medicine cabinet is stocked with drug, among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gottwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a bright orange bottle with peptide stamped on it. In sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container. It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is...
Peptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescriptions...
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy. This medicine cap, it's been used quite, but not for scrubbing blood off towels or anything else interesting. It's This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo, smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside.
Looks like it, yes.
You know which window has not been recently replaced? Yes, that one. Cold wind is seeping in right now. Just one floor below you. Messing up your concentration here.
Welcome.
Her hair is still slick. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic...
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will. It's much nicer now.
Where the dead body used to hang, clearly visible.
Thank you for that, officers.
There is something in her light brown eyes, a sadness, when she thinks about the...
Oh yes, legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there. I know. That's probably also...
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from...
Have I ever? This man has an unforgettable way with words. And what is that situation?
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who...
Huh. I see.
Be careful. Ask something else first. When you go there, use words like, I hear you have been through something difficult.
Clausier Amon.
Same name that Titus gave you. It sounds Oranese. Her birthmarks also signal Oranje. You don't know why, but Oranese girls tend to come speckled with them.
Right, sir. Vredefort, Republic of Oranje. A bad memory, officer. Of lilacs and lightning. Parks, glass. Duraluminium.
What's so bad about that?
Nothing. If you're no longer there. I'm 28. Something stupid.
Wanna hear what's stupid? Somewhere in a one-room apartment on Boogie Street, a young man shows Patrol Officer Tilbrook his genital warts. His partner, Emil Mullins, can't be there. He's in another apartment with another man who's showing him a dead dog under the radiator. It's dead, Mullins says. No, the man replies. I touched him. He's warm. He's warm, Mullins replies, because he's under the radiator.
Oranese lit. Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university. Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national lit.
If that's true, then Revacholian lit would fit you like a glove.
The record. So official. Sure. Nothing. I do nothing with it. It's not very cool, but what can you do? I'm afraid you can't.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cat.
Thank you for your candor. Huh?
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Clausia Mondu. It's a weird name. Okie dokie. The record. So official. Yeah.
No one likes to talk about their dirty laundry and their empty bottles. Maybe if you phrase it emotionally.
I'm wintering.
How long have you been?
About 4 months. I came in November. Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol? I heard this is where the washed-up disco has-beens go. I'm really not. It is.
The lieutenant makes an... He finds the answer unsatisfying.
Okay.
Watching herself reflected in the bedroom window, tall and sparkling and draped in smoke.
Something difficult? I've been through at least half a dozen difficult things. Which one do you mean? By sexually assaulted, you mean raped?
Yes.
It's a bit early in the morning for raped, isn't it?
She sounds positively buoyant, vivacious, totally unbothered.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with not raped. I can't say. Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, you know, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
By they, she...
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. Pretty much.
Warming them.
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing.
And his role in this strike was...
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military. worked for Wild Pines and against the Union.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him like he is now. I can't talk about it. I don't know.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
They're frequent guests downstairs. They have a booth for Union members. They're probably down there now. Over drinks.
There must be more to it. You should return to this topic after you've talked about her relationship with the deceased, maybe.
We partied. We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made...
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's a little. The drugs were good enough, and...
How did you two meet?
Downstairs. At the bar. He was on some sort of assignment, a military man, as you probably know. Had a cool...
She appears aloof, but that scar part, the scary, is stressed and drawn with longing.
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that. Oh, yes. I've had a great view.
A bitter cringe. It...
You called us, the RCM.
Yes.
Jackpot.
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snick.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Revachol, miss.
Because I couldn't handle it anymore. None of these people called. He just kept hanging there. Then they started... I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little. With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into it. Into the cold wire.
So, she's God's mystery foam cutter.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to.
Jigsaw falling into place. This is satisfying. Good catch. I appreciate the symmetry.
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the Union was listening in. Locals say they have ears.
Thank you for making the call, miss.
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there. Bullet? They shot him too? They stripped his clothes.
You mean after they hanged him?
I'm confused, sorry.
So am I. Were you aware that he had also been shot, miss?
Things are starting to go a little over my head here. I thought he was hanged. I was not present when they did it. I don't know what happened.
This is beginning to get confusing for you too, and we don't like that. Where was she last Sunday night?
Cowering. I was cowering downstairs with Sylvie. Like I said, a little.
Like you partied with...
No, not as...
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical...
I have. Which ones, sir? I don't remember.
Could that have been part of the reason they hanged him?
I hope not. Actually, I know that's not the reason. I'm careful about that kind of thing. Not crossing the wires, you know? But that's men like that? I don't know. It's the way their imaginations work. I suspect it's what they'd like to do to me.
She changes balance from one foot to another, crossing her legs. She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weary.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth.
Yeah? Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into...
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachon. But no, don't listen to the stiff. Be cool.
With money, sir. It's not exactly the anti-star size caboodle.
The anti-star is, or was, a vespertine rock and roll star who liked to do drugs. He did so many drugs, he eventually mutated into a corpse.
Oh, yes. One of my favorites. Like, not being able to stay up for 36 hours, not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a merit speed molecule, basically. Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
Better safe than sorry. Very funky. All right. Why not? Officer.
She looks back. Don't worry. We will protect you from her beauty. We will see through deceits. You are advised. There are muscles on long white bones that... The strange moment ends. It was brief, no longer than 2 point.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate. What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it. If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her. You think so? She seemed forthcoming. Unusually so. The best liars are always forthcoming. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our investigation will bring it.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
I don't know. It is not the first closed door we found in this building. There is also... I don't know. The further we get, the more this building seems to... The vigilantes, the cadaver, and a number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant.
It's barred from the inside. You hear the bar. Sounds like it's heavy, too. Very sturdy. This window.
Can I help you?
Got the 20 real?
Then why are you wasting...
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time? I am not.
You could.
Even a mod.
He's right. With a face like that, she could...
So fucking what? Lots of...
No, Glenn.
This didn't change her opinion. It's not her. She's not a hardy girl. Again, you find yourself looking at that big old window. There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside. You're not so sure about that. Somehow you just know there's something out there behind the glass.
Yeah.
It's not a very good mother joke, but the room still laughs. Something about those mother jokes just works. Nothing. Just black tangles like the hair of an old woman.
The clowns are still hanging around. What is it now? Fuck! I knew that fucking whore couldn't...
You've hit a nerve. Titus is furious. No, more than that. The loyalty...
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his fuck.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch.
This is a diversion. Stay on track.
Law, man. I am at... And you went and pushed her. I am...
Titus Hardy!
Success. Titus back.
Everard personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south...
When she's angry, she emphasizes the S. It gives her voice a strangely hit note. Frankly, it's someone has to rush in to break the tension. The second in...
Look, Copper. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T. What's the harm, right?
Here, jerkwad. Listen to this shit. And then come back and tell...
This is their last play, this tape. Their story is in tatters. a mess. It might be nice to listen to, but at this point, you don't need to.
You don't care about
Pixty.
I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk.
There's a lot of questions. If you ask them now, they'll just keep bringing up the tape. Listen to it, and they'll...
What's on it? We call it the Door Gunner Megamix. You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? URCM or... We have machines. We're in logistics. How do you think a harbor works? It's advanced.
Understood?
Since way before their chief started taking swindling.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day, writing down what they say.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
I'm sure we can find a tape player.
Where can I listen to this? Why don't you try...
Yeah, play it with your ass, cocksucker.
I'm sure we can find a tape player. It's not a problem.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments. You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday. Again?
Good one, Ty.
We hang.
Didn't they...
You're pretty...
The autopsy...
Yeah, that's right.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Then see if it all adds up.
Of course.
Fuck.
Keep your eye on this powerful guy. Sooner or later, he's going to break like a piece.
And fuck.
This one is a stone wall.
Like what, Copper? About fucking time.
You stare at the great Door Gunner Megamix. If only you had a boombox, you would... The tape feels ominous. Upon it, the dead speak. It's just a racist mug. But it will not happen. You take the legal document. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheat.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Sure, officer. What's the number? Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow.
Hopefully they'll have dug up...
The International Collaboration Police, ICP, is an inter-Isolari law enforcement service. The Crown...
Just a second. Sylvie Malaika. Yes, hello? Oh, great. What else do you need, detective? Uniform? I never saw you.
Somewhere in a dank rental apartment, one of the men, trying not to slip on old newspapers, makes goddamn. Officer Michel, you hear the call breaking up on the other end of the radio, and then the already familiar voice.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? 57.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio, a metallic drawer. The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Preheater gauge casts a warm glow on the steering levers and the radio on its hook. A metallic drawer. The pull-out toolbox slides back. This orange machine is dead. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric.
Vigilance officer? What can this all... There's nothing for you to understand here. It is not her. Absolutely not. She died of pneumonia in her bed at the age of... Revolution Fair of 91 in the Faubourg district. A parade was held to honor Guillaume Le Lion's name day, and the Carabiniers marched in the place of honor. This was the happiest day of my life. I was 22 when I returned from King Guillaume's Akira operation in...
The Akira operation was a 7-year campaign, during which Suzerain Guillaume's army...
I won her back, but while I was dealing with some...
You were like a dark cloud sucking the joy out of every living thing around you. And you...
Dark cloud. That's...
Those days and memories are gone.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench.
We can sit on benches after we've...
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
boomboxes wait on the shelves, and your boombox, that gold and amber Harman Waushi, stares at you longingly with its tape. Just don't ask him for the smallest amount. You'll insult him. The others will work.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
The boomboxes wait on the shelves, and your boombox, that gold and amber Harman Waushi, still. You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on... Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Casting the framework, the filament slides out of its glowing nest. tiles on the cube are still smooth. Like a smooth draw, the filaments slide. Your flashlight, some of the writing has faded with age. This, it looked Mini-Me, stands for a mini-meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to, as time goes on, the numbers in the boxes.
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the handwriting is only partly lit. The full text reads, "Heat death of the universe is the new black." Another note says, "The biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the..." This old file, a diagram for summoning some time-forgotten being. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. History classes, students with their radio frequencies, it seems, unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced. Perhaps the web is comprised of radio stations. Whoever decides to call in to a list of names under the stations suggests people across 6 Isolas would be playing. Muindi, Insulinda, Kotla, Grad, Samara, and even Il Mara. All of this is gone. There's no way a little basement studio working.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. The schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running on...
Nothing is... A rusting control. The water lock starts moving.
All right, we can go to the coast now. Expect rugged terrain and drums. And if you wanted to forge that document for...
A banged-up motor carriage lies half-submerged in the icy water, slowly sinking into the Insulindian Ocean. Only the cabin top. It must be cold and lonely down there. Remember the tire tracks in Martinez? This is where they were leading.
It appears to be so.
The motor carriage looks... Remember the tire track?
It appears to be so. I agree. We should definitely investigate.
You get a sudden sinking feeling. Stomach acid comes up as you look at the motor carriage in the deep. Why the doom and gloom? It's just a sunken motor carriage. Some motor carriages are bound to end up in the sea. The motor carriage is properly stuck in the ice. Getting it out would require a team of... The logo is too deep in murky water. You can't make it out, but you do see.
The ice hasn't closed around the vehicle yet. My guess is it's been here since last Saturday.
The estimate is correct. The incident probably occurred on Sunday evening. Your mocking tone finds no response, but the motion of the waves.
Yes, quite. Let's wait for the low tide and see what...
Great idea. Then we can get the things inside. The joyrider must have left something good inside. A joyrider jacket. You feel a strange connection to this joyrider. Maybe he's from some...
I don't know. An hour or two, tops?
As you sit down in the old, rusty playground, the world around you, the hinges creak under your weight. Nothing but the sound of seagulls high above in the sky, echoing like distant laughter. Ice cracks around the blue motor carriage in the sea. Spit flies from your mouth to your moustache, your chest.
That's right. Just keep at it.
You hear the sound echo on the large body of water. Clouds race across the spring sky, and suddenly, okay, that's way better than what... The clouds pass in the sky, and the shadow of the swing moves like the hour hand on a timepiece. 30 minutes have passed. Looks like this might take a while. Time to present a good topic for discussion.
I believe it's following a pattern set millions of years ago by cosmic forces. But I suppose it could...
Clouds on the horizon grow darker, and the shadow of the swing set keeps climbing.
Luckily, I am already a member of an independent organization, and therefore do not have to choose between a rock and a hot place.
Your voice echoes on the water, strange and out of place in the environment. 30 more minutes pass.
Detective, I've been able to make out the mark ever since we arrived. I find it odd that you haven't. It is a simple and rugged machine, favored by working men, government offices, firefighters, animal control people, you know, those kinds of people. Yes, 41.
It's as if he knows what it stands for, but wants you to say it. It's pedagogical. Does he know something about the driver of this vehicle?
A precinct, yes. A police precinct.
A massive pit opens up in your stomach. No. Just nope. Say no to this, Harry.
Yes, your car is in the sea. Face it, so we can start dealing with this. I'm afraid so, yes. It looks like you started in front of the whirling, jumped over the canal, and then drove your vehicle in the sea right here.
There is also a fourth thing you've lost. More precious than the gun, the badge, and the motor carriage combined. Lost forever into the deepest of seas.
Of whom? I don't think so. If anything, you were...
Probably. Tried definitely.
Detective, we don't. A rescue operation really isn't viable at this point. People are more valuable than machines. Training a police officer is even more costly. I'm afraid it will have to be there like that for many years. Look at it. Parts of it might be salvageable, but overall, this machine is a write-off. Yes, let's go take a look.
The motor carriage looks very sad. Remember the tire tracks in Martinez?
It appears to be so. I agree. We should
You get a sudden, sinking feeling. Stomach acid comes up as you look at the motor carriage. Why the doom and gloom? It's just a sunken motor carriage. Some motor carriages are bound to end up in the sea.
Let's wait for the low tide and...
Great idea. Then we can get the things inside. The joyrider... A joyrider jacket?
I don't know. An hour or two, tops?
As you sit down in the old, rusty playground, the hinges creak under your weight. Nothing but the sound of seagulls high above in the sky, echoing like distant laughter.
Yes, it does. Let me think about it.
It's impossible to say if it's happening, if the water is real. The clouds pass in the sky, and the shadow of the swing moves like the hour hand on a timepiece. Looks like this might take a while. Time to present a good topic for discussion.
Well, historically, leeches have been used to prevent an...
Okay, he's thinking. I can do this. Let's do this. Who'd want to... Well, napalm ants, for example, are used in some rites of passage rituals. Clouds on the horizon grow darker, and the shadow of the swing set keeps climbing. You hear the distant rumble of the city. 30 minutes pass.
God, I hope so.
Your voice echoes on the water, strange and out of place in the environment. 30 more minutes pass.
Yes, for...
It's as if he... Does he know something about that speed racer?
I'm sorry.
41. Precinct 41. A mess... No. Just nope. Say no to this, Harry.
There were never... I'm afraid so, yes. It looks like you studied in front of the whirling. Just... Yes.
The motor carriage looks very... Remember the type?
It appears to be so.
Great news. The boat is big enough for a grown man like you to fit underneath it in a supine position. I don't know. Sleeping? What do people do under boats? This is merely a measurement from your visual cortex.
Huh? Sarcastic self-pity is not what we need. I understand the situation looks grim.
You have a home somewhere. All cops do. When this is done, It's only a red chair. Just a red chair in an empty shack, with what looked like a dusty bow tie on the shelf. Nothing to see here. Investigate the blood-red chair? You're going to leave it alone, Harry. That's what you're going.
Hi, officer. Anything I can help you with? A fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Illicib. The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place. The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions.
Indeed. Ask her about the cool sword.
Let's see. Who are you looking for? I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate? Aha! Like snowmen. Two old guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like. I don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides snowmen? Yeah, I'm not really looking for that anymore. Not much into the middle-class ones either. Could do with some... Wish I could help you with that, but I haven't seen your working-class husband.
She seems genuinely sorry for not being able to help.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer? Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now I'm tarring a little skiff. I sell the fish to people in the Delta to serve at their fancy restaurants. Authentic insular Indian cuisine. Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up.
Keep it professional, man. This is what is called a conversation. You don't have to be guarded right now.
Wood,
pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see dead bodies. Human, bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general.
All right. Major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely.
Well, you're barking under the wrong tree then, officer. I have no interest in floaters. Seen enough of them in my life already. Very unattractive bunch. Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly. Not really. I know some basic moves, and I know it sure as hell beats a knife when you're in a tough spot. It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy. From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time. Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying. Guess I enjoyed the way he bled.
If it is, then why the melon?
Gone. To the waves. The sea took him. It was a long time ago. Who knows? Maybe he fell over. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much more.
She really liked those muscles, though. It's in the way she pronounces sinewy.
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for him. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
This is neither a touchy. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action. You take the legal documents out of the envelope, a 12 to 40 month construction period, and the zoning plan in the addendum. The youth center cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great mod. The woman next to a bucket of clothes hums. You're not sure about the melody, but it might be South Samaran, possibly Sigayan, also known as the...
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts. I still have a golden ear. Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around.
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
Oh, of course. Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of trouble then. Wish you did. But still, in Martinez, your No, not you personally. I meant the RCM. Some of the men got into a fight. He was brooding, needed some help opening the door. You got it open for him and took him to think about...
She says it as if he was on some kind of spiritual retreat.
Oh, the usual.
That's you, all right. A black hound licking your own heels.
Maybe we are afraid. Because you're an ill omen, but you're still welcome here, as long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe, I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park your motor carriage, and not a lot of houses, or a lot of people. Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to us?
When Varson communist revolutionary Ignace Nielsen was in hiding, he stayed in a hut on the Boreal Plateau for 10 months.
Well, if you are not in the hostel in the morning, I'll know where to find you. Here, in a shack.
He's a little relieved you're no longer in that room. The place is so pornographically poor, it's not even funny. She nods, rinsing another piece of cloth.
So, they don't hold service.
She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking. Interesting. You could look into this ruckus. Perhaps the mysterious music is somehow connected to the case. A Rusalka or a... The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't be more than 5 years old. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth. This one doesn't say anything. Kick. The stone kicker laughs suddenly. His head is too large. The other one laughs. Maybe there's some kind of reason why they're laughing. An interesting reason, somehow. The boy stops laughing. Oh, okay. So now he's shy. Now he's not talking. Just, you will never get an answer. That's how it is with these little idiots. The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if that's some... The boy doesn't answer. His brother throws another rock.
You're bad with kids. Don't worry, everyone is. How about we do some police work now? We're not getting anything here.
The door has seen better days.
I'll wait outside to give you some time and privacy to check out your new... After we are done with the day, I'll still be staying in the whirling in rags.
The key turns with a satisfaction. The noxious odor emanating from the drunken man.
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't call Abigail! Abigail.
Abigail is his wife or girlfriend. Chances are, you're not going to get anything out of this. Never thought you'd see such a thing in your life. But this guy's a little too drunk.
Don't you fucking call her! Hear me? Abigail?
The man hiccups. Then,
Don't call Abigail! Don't call...
Hey, Tequila!
Good to see you. How's business? So what's happening? Yeah, Tequila Sunset. How are the,
He says it like it's obviously your name. Like you call someone Billy Brunel or Leader. Good. These people know your true name. Looks like it has preceded you, Mr. Sunset. More on that later.
Things aren't going super well for Idiot Doom Spiral either. Haven't found those...
This guy's your buddy. You feel it immediately. You Idiot Doom Spiral, huh? This is bound to be a good, high-concept conversation. At last.
We are saving the world.
Please! Please don't call.
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago. So now, it's a pirate's life for me. It definitely is. Oh, do I?
No, you sure don't.
Aha.
Tequila Sunset. Something ominous there.
Let me take a sip to moisten up my cords. Tequila Sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday, and by Tequila Sunset, hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer. And that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head right in front of them. That's pretty high concept, if you ask.
It is. Does that sound like something you'd do? The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can.
It was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, were getting our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this. We get our drink on 24/7. One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage
Do you remember the sound of wood?
Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in. Anyway, there was a brief silence. A gasp of silence, if you will. Followed by a real commotion. We heard sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed of an alcohol. What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you. The time... So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, The time hath come for Tequila Sunset, the end of all things. After which, your reality contracted. You jammed the pedal. We ran towards the ice, whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform, recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed to. We asked about the whole Tequila Sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now and insisted that we all call you that from then on. I'm not sure. I think you were the event. Tequila Sunset. No, that's just what your mother called you. Your real name, ours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, how they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen, got up, and left without saying...
Wow, that's quite a story.
Yeah, I bet Tequila's a fucking legend around the
If you only knew.
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard.
Please, don't open that door.
Abigail!
It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working through some shit. Beside your gun and your badge, you said something about your hope or heart or something. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too? That's a big one. You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main...
It's more like you were
No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. And that you didn't need...
A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level.
It's not meant as a joke. He's sorry for the hermit cop.
Yeah, you said that you'd really behaved unreasonably and failed to uphold your responsibility. You kept apologizing for being such a bad cop. You also kept pausing to knock the heel of your hand against your temples, saying, "Stupid, stupid, stupid." It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all. Whoop-de-doo. So now I'm a fucking storyteller. Right. Why not? Better than a beach bum. It depends, really.
The gleam in his eyes and the slouch in his posture. You might get scammed here.
I don't want it, man. I need it. Can't tell stories. So, have you got anything for good old idiot Doom Spiral? A bottle for a story. Then I will see you again once you've procured some. Par exemple, my good friend Rosemary here sells all... You too, Tequila Sunset.
The worn and beaten wooden platform.
We can sit on benches.
typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. The boomboxes wait on the... You hold in your hand the colorful primer. The title reads, A Primer for Small Kids. This book will show you the score, get you oriented with those basic concepts you appear to be hazy on. The alphabet. Every page has one word designating one letter of the alphabet with a faded illustration. A is for azimuth. B is for Boreas. C is for cosine. D, H is for homeboy. I is for econ. J is for Eura. K is for collapse. L, Q is for quasar. R is for rhododendron. S is for sinus. That's it. You know. It is a very useful skill to have, he thinks, for all sorts of life. The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the apparatus with a satisfying click.
The harbor. That's the sound of a Kvalson crane.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the apocalypse style. Kill shit. Don't moderate the room, Cordy. A real nice one. With a safe, I guess. And then I give a fucking tear all in. Rate that dust got conned on the cooter. You know. That never did get that taste out of my mouth.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arete on your porter reel. The tape stops spinning.
End of recording. It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls. Still,
there's more going on here than we know.
One of the other mercenaries, I think. The one he was talking to. A friend of a village on the Samaran Isola in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about. Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. Or maybe Kohoi is just merc talk for
a symbol of soldier of the apocalypse style conduct in a civil environment.
I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony, at least to some degree.
As you take out the tape, the boombox tunes itself. The contrast feels chilly, Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
His slender figure is backlit by city lights. It feels like a Friday. He seems to be, and his shirt is still unbuttoned.
Beautiful. So tell me, are you here to make things right again? Then I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you, and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. Downstairs, a cat crosses the... He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad. And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
Different, of course. Something so mysterious about the way he talks. Very. Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview.
Officers of the Reversal Citizens Militia.
You shouldn't be seeing him in an intimate setting. For some reason you feel this man is your superior, but he's not in the command chain.
My name is Charles Villedron. I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the... I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I'm here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
No, first ask an innocuous personal question to get the interview. Yes, make it clear you're the one setting the terms here.
I got it from the head of the Samoan delegation on my trip to Lomanthang. It's made from a special charcoal-colored bamboo. It's an emblem of the formal Noma...
He's alluding to the decade-long War of Independence, while deftly brushing aside.
That's really all I can tell you about it.
That didn't work. The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change. There are more nefarious powers to work for than the moral intern. Me? I'm a lieutenant of the RCM.
The lieutenant is practiced in the art of putting on a show for one's superiors. Darling, that can't be an official designation. Jamrock and other parts of the international zone have been mercifully spared of Sir Clay's love for meatballs and mashed potatoes. But that didn't tell you anything about Aranye. God, yes. Sweet standardization. The backbone of... Except that candidate members never become full members, do they? A chill runs down your spine as you envision a half-dozen people in professional attire standing around a chair, awkwardly pretending to be waiting for a motorbike. He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers, like...
What do you mean, like in a play? Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated.
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
I think we can drop the drummer angle. That was my bad. Were you able to see anything from inside? About what time was...
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around it.
Was there anything else?
He holds out his hand.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious.
The lieutenant sends you a sharp...
Were you... About...
A shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges, secured to the doorframe with a safety chain. An unpaid energy bill is attached, threatening to cut off the electricity. It's addressed to Mr. Uno Doroita.
Give me a moment. Give me a moment.
It was dirtier there, after the janitor's closet.
We saw unpaid utility.
They probably just moved, or died, hopefully somewhere else. She mumbles some kind of a response. Then a shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges, secured to the door.
And the place comes with 3 months' worth of utility bills.
No response. The apartment numbers have fallen off the door, leaving the panel with a sticky 1 shaped shadow and a marker drawn 2. A shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges, secured to the... It should be easy, but it's just an awkward angle, okay? The door doesn't really open wide enough to really get the cutters through. You can't get the leverage you need. And the fabric rustles. The lieutenant's chin catches...
Trouble with the chain, officer? Well, no, I guess not.
You can't stand for that. Come on, show him what you can really do. A shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges. Snip. So much for that goddamn chain. The links fall to the ground on the other side of the door.
I know there's no stopping you, but let's at least make this quick.
A phone book lies open on the table, covering a stack of utility bills. Right next to it, in plain sight, sits a small bottle of amphetamine, conveniently equipped with a straw.
Good. Confiscate.
The minuscule amount of amphetamine doesn't interest the lieutenant in the slightest. He listens instead to something. You pocket the bottle as if it were the most natural thing in the world. crinkled chewing gum wrapper. The worn label reads, Tutti Frutti. It's in the dark. It looks like a nest. There it is again. It's not too late. No one's going to blame you for backing out. You don't have to do this. Just get out. Good question. There is no answer or secret phrase written on the inside. It's deep. In sufferings, you see a 60-year-old, fat, red-headed man passed out from large amounts of alcohol. You don't have to take him down. He's already down.
I'm afraid it is. Look, it moves.
And look, the other foot is camouflaged by a striped sock bearing the name. Max Tor is a gas company. He's wearing free socks from a gas. A groan rises from the man's throat, dry like a death rattle. He's trying to say something in his sleep. The man groans once again, but his tongue keeps failing him. It's impossible to make out the syllables. A hand emerges from the blankets, trying to gesticulate something. And then falls back again, limp and defeated by sleep. A loud snore escapes his mouth.
Well, Judge...
The lieutenant's right. The man's unwashed hair bears a familiar ginger tone. Even the hair on his chest is coppery. The light from the window falls into his half-open eyes.
No, it really doesn't. This looks very hard to recall. This man won't be feeding his family anytime soon. Not that he was, but at least he won't be beating his...
A pair of half-open bug eyes is staring back at you from the dark, empty, and frozen.
Can't you tell? It happens to exceptionally committed substance abusers. They fall asleep with their eyelids still open. Not a pretty sight. Look, he's trying to communicate. What is there to do? We could turn him on his side so he doesn't choke on his own vomit, but he's already on his side. We could take him to Remedy or Saint-Baptiste, but he doesn't have money for medical service. They don't do charity for people who are trying to kill themselves. Besides, he'll be dead in a few.
Years. The pile of blankets grunts miserably. The aging alcoholic, silence, only heat emanates.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions.
She puts her coffee cup down with a soft ring. This does not surprise.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he...
She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused.
Where did...
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via de-encryption station. It's all...
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style? Yeah. That was practically his pickup line. Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style? He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his everything.
Yes, was he bragging?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things. Then integrated them into his idea of normalcy. To keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for? Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way. He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezud all rolled into one person, then cast in Norani's ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower. Afraid of what? That tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Your mother probably never told you this, but girls are evil. Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Kohoi. I would be tearing it up Soldier of the Apocalypse style.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? In Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess.
There is a small measure of pride in her that she could quell the rage inside. What kind of man was he? Before you go, ask for details.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Not my favorite topic, but okay. How about we, change the subject to something more lighthearted now?
Like, for example...
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him.
Lelystad. That's a good start. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. The last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
In Oranje, officer. It's,
The Lelystad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agricultural plots near the border of Gottwald. Executive summary.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form.
Yes.
Did that bring you together?
No. He was too old for that. And from another part of Oranjenrek. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together was...
No love for Mother Oranje. But wasn't he a soldier? This could be worth pursuing.
No. He left the National Service after they taught him to do what he did on Seminine. He wasn't the flag-waving kind. He was by no means a stupid man. A people person. A small platoon leader. Mm-hmm. There is nothing on Muindi. The old world is dead. I love Revachol, though. I hope she loves me, too. He was 42.
42? Are you sure?
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no, we even celebrated his birthday, like, some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days.
Looks like you were right, officer.
Points aren't good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die. The young woman looks at you. Then, she's clearly sensing something. A spike in testosterone levels.
Blue. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with...
He had a combat wound on his chin.
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was...
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can...
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made it oily. Not nice to stroke. I could... Oh.
It's clear she liked it.
Quite a lot, yes. It was a map of his life and the places he visited as a soldier. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though. Yes?
All right.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee.
Yes. You're just one room away.
Good. Yes. This means she could have heard something. Like what you were doing before you blacked out.
You do not need to know that. What you need is to ask normal police questions. Like...
Get a grip, he thinks. At least do your personal stuff when I'm not here. Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42? Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder?
Huh. How?
She's buying time to formulate the best.
I don't know. 21? 17? 60? When does the male libido peak?
You're not.
Sure he is. You know.
Yes, but for him that not...
Wait. This requires scientific measurements. To the laboratorium. The same small, heavy door. No...
clowns are still hanging around. What is it now? Anne. That fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in...
That fucker wasn't aimed at you. It was at her.
Fucking fuckity fucker. And what did she say then?
Sounds like he wanted it to change her mind about the hanged man. This is definitely personal.
Yes.
Funny.
No. Seems like they wanted to give Claudia a second chance to play along.
Right. Oh, fucking righty then.
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
Okie dokie. This is just perfect. Just fucking...
You don't have to say everything out loud. Just mix and match.
Everyone's got feelings for each other.
That's all right, Glenn. I just thought I thought anyone would...
Yeah.
He wanted her to see the man for what he was. Now that you know, you might want to lay off this topic.
I just got too worked up. Big man lost his shit. It's cool now. I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
There's less gusto in his voice now.
Come on, Titus. We know you didn't hang him. He was shot. I know you're tired. So am I. Why don't you just...
You know what? Next time you see her, tell her. Titus, that lying, scamming. Yeah.
On the floor, beer drips out of the can into a small...
What is this quiet funeral shit? All we need is some beer.
Why do we make it 40, huh? Why do we... 100 beers? Now we're talking.
Again? Just...
Good one, Titus.
About fucking time.
Convince Titus he's being manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardy will never falter. Fat Angus, the powerful guy. Just remember, it's about more than Claudia. It's about these men and Martinez, their district, their responsibility.
Huh?
He'll get it. Go on.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
Bring that up one more time, and you won't get to write that report.
Yes, I understand, Alain. That's your name, right, Alain? You'll kill us. That's what they do in the wild north.
It wasn't that. It wasn't... We just couldn't get him down, okay?
That's it. That's the weak one.
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do.
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
Shut up, Angus!
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis! Stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo! Take your hand off.
The room falls quiet. So quiet, you can hear Angus.
Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you...
I left it home. I can't get it.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told...
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
What just happened between these two? You're in. He's all yours. Questions.
In a manner, we had help from another girl. It was her idea to hang him, and I liked it. For political reasons, it sent a good message.
The big guy turns to Glenn, who's about to say something. The blonde shuts his mouth before a word escapes.
I'll say it again. All the Hardy Boys are right here, cop. That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her, anyway. Nope. You're not getting to her. It's Klausya you want to talk to. You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own. They can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her. From the old world. Where she came from. They're powerful. Connected to the moral intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghost.
That's all he knows. That's all she's told him.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and loot. Me too.
He nods.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death.
Another nod.
'Cause the girls asked us to. They were in some
Girls plural? There's another girl? 2 of them?
Did she kill him?
Cow. I have no...
He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hoped.
Klausya came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up. Even more than usual. Bug-eyed. Gurning. You know. Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario.
Good analogy, boss.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus. We went upstairs. Sure as day the Merc was dead. And there was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking...
He means they'd been fucking?
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged. Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue. I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them.
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Klausya. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe. My dude. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do if I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you. Yeah.
Right now, he's grateful he hasn't gotten his brother into this mess. The lieutenant gives a smile only you can see.
You do that. Hey, cop. Before you go, Clausia, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up.
Still, after all this headache.
That's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a...
We'll take that into account.
The same small, heavy door. This is it. The scene of the party. The fire pit. Cigarettes. Not as such. I'm talking about what came after. Looks like they were here a while. Judging from all the bottles. The sunken motor carriage provided them a focal point. Like a goose eye sculpture.
Looks like it. Hey, let's keep moving, detective.
Somehow, he doesn't want to. The motor carriage. Remember the type?
It appears to be so.
It's getting cold, this late in the night.
Good night, officer.
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor, so how would you know? You haven't even seen your face. Go take a peek.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer? Oh? Well, how can I assist you then, officer? Sure is. The sun, I call her, coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue.
It's getting cold. The bed is comforting. Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm. It only takes you moments.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one
Recorded in you forever on Ferrotape.
On and on it goes for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rise.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time. The last time.
It's the world, Harry boy. And you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yours. You can never forget this shit.
All stuck on loop. Whirling.
You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent, picking up litter and old newspapers.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
It's too late. You're not made of nothing anymore. You're something now, Harry.
For the working class.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off your lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth. Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely...
Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One conversation